Hey guys, it's Leesh, and welcome to another episode of Car Confessions. Guys, what is going on? How are you? I am driving around. It's alternate side parking as usual. It's crazy when I'm off work, trying to get this whole alternate side parking situation together is always a feat. But nevertheless, it allows me to talk to you guys and, catch up with you, see how you're doing, the whole shebang. How are you doing? Hopefully you're well. I don't know if I said that before, but I'm hoping that you're well. Um, I actually just came from hot yoga. Did I say that? I don't even know, right? Who knows? But just coming back from hot yoga, and here's the thing: it's like I need to make a plan to do things on these days when I know that there's going to be issues with parking. Um, at one point, I was thinking maybe I should walk to hot yoga. And it's a possibility, but then that would require me to make sure my car's on a Monday side as opposed to the Wednesday side, which is not hard. It's just being conscious of that, and then walking back home after hot yoga. I might try that next week. And it really wouldn't be car confessions, it'd be more of a walk confession. But baby steps, baby steps. Guys, I have been really doing my best to stay um as positive as possible um the past few days, because it just seems like there's so much negativity going around. You know what I'm saying? All the things that are happening in this country. At this point, it's almost like a broken record. Not almost, it is a broken record. Just constantly talking about the woes of this country, how things are so ridiculous, um, how our leaders are just out here going rogue. What is happening, right? I was looking at something the other day, and not even the other day, it was yesterday. Uh, Something that was on TikTok, and it was the press conference of Donald Trump. And, you know, the absurdities that he spews out of his mouth with a straight face, but, that's neither here nor there, are just beyond me. And not even that. It's like he does that, and then this is what really kills me. It's the reporters. How do they keep a straight face? You have to, that professionalism is on another level, in my opinion, because I would just be like, sir, you have, stop it. Stop. You're lying. You're lying. That would be me. But this is why I'm not a reporter, obviously, right? Or I'm wondering, maybe this is the ignorance of myself, but as a reporter, are you not allowed to call these people out when they're lying? Be like, actually, that's not true. I know I've seen some things where people do that, but to be consistent with it, I don't know that people are consistently calling him out. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a thing of just let him talk. Let him talk. Just let him talk. Because the more he talks, the more nonsense comes out of his mouth. And, we can prove once again that he's just a liar. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know. But what I do know is that it is on another level how unhinged this person is. And people, bring up the fact that he does have dementia. And listen, I'm not disputing any of that, because if that's the case, okay, he has dementia. But then that's where we as a society have to make some really hard decisions and start creating some type of I don't know if you say boundaries, but legislation or some type of guidance, some type of a policy, right? where it's like, when people are a certain age, you might want to bow out, or there are term limits, right? Um, Probably both. But the presidency is one thing, right? But I think there should be, because there's a certain age that you can become a president, but there's nothing after the fact. And I'm wondering also too if that's because the founding fathers. I mean, they weren't out here living long, and the people back then. So I don't know if that's why it's so like free flowing in that way, because it's like, I mean, they had a good maybe 40, not even that. Some of them had 40 years, 40, 50 years in them. And then it was a wrap. Um, the people living this long, right? 80 plus, 70s, this, that, and the other, and capable of showing up to these jobs. Like I said, I don't think that was a part of the plan when it came to humans just out here, living and existing and whatnot. But I could be wrong. But yeah, it's obvious that this man is really struggling mentally, beyond just being a cruel and evil person. Like, I'm not taking away from that at all. He is just not a nice or kind, rather, individual. Um, it's just literally on another level. So it's wild to me that he's. It's like, how many times can we talk about it, though? As I say this, it's just like, this is just who he is. You know, this is literally who he is, and it's like, is this sustainable? That's the question. And I feel like, and a lot of people have been saying this, and I kind of, I agree with this to a degree. It's like, I foresee, the people behind the curtain, because we know at the end of the day, he's a puppet, right? I mean, he does do some ridiculous stuff, but when it gets down to the actual nuts and bolts of how this society runs, like, he is literally the puppet, right? And there is a puppet master. So I feel like the puppet masters are trying to find ways to get him out of office. I don't have concrete proof, but there are enough things. Like, if you're good with pattern recognition and you're good with like just kind of seeing how things are unfolding, it's like, yeah, they're getting tired of him because he's unhinged. And if you're someone who has dementia as well, like, there's only so much of following the script that's going to happen, right? You're going to go rogue a time or two, if not more than a time or two. And this is not being shady. This is just full on facts. Like, someone who is in that altered mental state, no fault of their own, moments, situations, and whatever else present in a way that would normally, that would be something that you would want to try to control, but more times than not, because of your situation, you're not able to control yourself. So there's that. Um, so yes, I don't know how much longer we as a society are going to sit around and just be able to be okay with this, right? Like, is it just me? Like, I mean, it's just wild. I'm just going to park, guys, because me driving around is like, it's a waste. But I mean, it's just wild to me, y'all, that this country, one, is just allowing, you know what I'm saying? Like, allowing things to go in this manner, allowing this fool to run the country. And some people could be like, well, Alicia, you just said there are people behind the curtain that are really managing and dealing, and you're right. There are. But there has to be a point when we realize we have the power. I say this all the time, y'all. Like, we have the power. It's us. It's our money. It's not so much us going in the streets and fighting off the bad guys, right? Because the bad guys aren't in the streets. They're behind the curtain, you know? And what fuels them power-wise is our money. Like, they need us. They need us. Um, and it's like always, like when I think about this, I think about when I started auditioning as an actor and performer. I used to be so terrified when I would walk in those rooms for auditions, terrified of the casting, oh my gosh, whatever. And it got to a point where, I needed money. Like, I had to, like, pay my rent. And I had to change my mindset around the whole thing of auditioning. So much so to the point where I started loving to audition. And I realized when I walked in those rooms, they are there. The people behind the desk need me as much as I need them, right? And but you need me more so than anything, because your job depends on me showing up. It does. Um, it depends on an actor. So they need a collective of people to show up to actually do the job that they are set forth to do. You following me? And all that to say, when we get tired of being scared of these people behind the desk, casting, government, whatever, and realize they need us in order to function, they need us in order to have the jobs that they have. Once we get to that point and realize, like, oh, it's us that they need, and we need them to a degree of, like, just saying, okay, you are saying you're here to protect the people, you're going to, provide this and this based on what you've promised us as a representative. When we see that it's a two-way street and not a one-way, um, it really changes the mindset and perspective of it all. And it's even more so that, take out the whole acting thing, like, we are so much more important in this actual scenario because, like I said, it's our money. They need our money. Those taxes, like, listen, us paying taxes is not just some blind movement, right? Like, this is how this country fuels itself, how it's able to function and run and be, right? We've been so accustomed to, oh, I gotta pay my taxes. But not really thinking about, like, what are my taxes going to, right? If I stopped paying into the system, what would that look like, right? And I think that's where we have to start really being a bit more intentional when we're thinking about what we're paying into, like, what's the importance of all of this. Um, because at the end of the day, if we don't pay our taxes, did I just spit something out of my mouth? Anyway, if we don't pay our taxes, this country is not able to function. Now, will this happen on a large, like, on a, whole country scale? No, it wouldn't happen like that. But if it was a large chunk of people where it was very noticeable, oh yeah, changes would come about. They would come about. How would this happen? I don't know. This is Car Confessions with Leesh. I don't know how we can. This is just me just spewing my thoughts. Oh, here comes the cleaners. Oh, we get to mosey on up the road here. They're coming to clean the floor, or the street rather. The street cleaners, I always wonder, like, do they get paid a lot of money? I'm assuming they get paid a decent amount of money. So I think they're a part of sanitation. So I mean, and from what I know, New York City sanitation workers get paid pretty well. I mean, listen, if I was a sanitation worker here in New York, I would be demanding the top tier salary, because what? Seriously. Um, because that's an intense job, especially if you're the one that's picking up, like, physically picking up the trash. That's a lot of physical labor. Uh-oh, somebody got a ticket. I wish I could flip my camera around so y'all could see it. Tragedy. Tragedy. Oh, I think that's the guy who got the ticket. It is the worst. It is the worst when you forget to move your car on alternate side parking day, and then when you roll out and you see that freaking orange slip under your windshield wiper, gosh, you're ready to just like flip all the tables. Or at least I'm ready to flip all the tables. Because that's the last thing you want to do is have another freaking ticket. You know what I'm saying? So annoying. So annoying. But yeah, like I said, I don't know exactly how we'll be able to like manage and navigate this whole idea of child. People just don't be paying attention. This one almost got ran over. I mean, who child? Anyway, I'm not really sure how we will manage and navigate this whole situation when it comes to just really gaining our power back financially, uh, because there is fear. There is honest fear behind the fact that, oh my God, if I one second, wait, this card to turn. If I stop paying my taxes, what does that look like for me, right? Will I be in some type of trouble? I don't know, right? Like, is that a possibility? It's a risk. It's definitely a risk. Like, not gonna pretend like it's not. It's definitely a risk to remove yourself from the system. And then at the same time, it's a risk to be in the system. It's a double-edged sword, right? It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't at this point, I don't know. But what I do know is that like something has to change. Something has to change. I don't know exactly where we start with all this. I do know, like, a lot of people now I've been seeing on social media too, and you guys know I'm always, calling out racism and stuff like that. But, a lot of white folks that are on social media, I see them calling it out now. And saying that, a lot of what's happening in this country in terms of the lack of care behind um, helping and really looking out for the people, a lot of the reason why that's not happening is because of racism. And so many people will deny it to the death. They're like, oh no, it's not, the issues that we have, it's not just all because of racism and blah, 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 blah. And then when you ask, well, what is it? It's this whole, deer in headlights situation. It's like, okay, so if you are so, spot on sure that it's not due to racism, then what is it? What is it? Right? Because I was also looking at, I saw a thing on TikTok earlier, and it was actually one of those things I was telling you about. It was a white guy saying that he was speaking to another white person, and she said the reason why she does not believe that black and brown folks should reap the benefits of what white people receive is because in the event that we are on level playing field, we will want more and more and more, and it'll never stop. The taking away from them, the white folks, right? Or if we're just on, if we're on, level, we will then eventually go above them and take away from them. And let me start here. I appreciate when people tell me exactly how they think and feel because it already lets me know, okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, your racism is top tier. And the thing is, a lot of times people don't even realize they're being racist, which is even crazier because it's like, wow, like you're so oblivious to your own racism that you will die on this hill because you feel like it's justified because you think something's going to be taken from you. And to that I say, for the majority of folks, or at least the folks, most of the black folks I know, we don't operate like that. And I've said this a few times on car confessions. Like, we just don't operate like that. I can't say every black person operates the same as I do. But my thing is this: what are you so afraid of that you're going to lose that you haven't already lost? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. People are losing health care. People are losing jobs now. Uh, Food prices are through the roof. This infrastructure. Y'all see me on Car Confessions. I'm hitting potholes like it's my damn job around here. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is so like top tier in this country? Our education system is through the shitter. Oh, that's not a thumbs up, more of a thumbs down. Can we do a thumbs down? Does that work? Yeah, thumbs down. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see me being silly there. But like, what is so amazing here in America that you are afraid that you're going to lose out on? Like, I really want to know. I really want to know. Besides your so-called supremacy, because that's the only thing that's holding you to all this nonsense, in my opinion. There is nothing else. If you're an everyday American citizen and you're racist, I I I just have to laugh. I just have to laugh because you are on the struggle bus just like everybody else, and you're voting against your own interest for some pseudo supremacy that doesn't serve you by any means. Like, you're still broke. You're still like looking like you're looking. Like, what? It's just so confusing to me. It's so confusing. And my thing is, like, allowing everyone to have access to the benefits of this system that we all pay into. If you're a taxpayer, we all pay into the system. So for you to have more than me, and we are all paying around the same amount of taxes, especially if you're in the, if you're in the middle class, so-called middle class, whatever you want to call it, or just whatever class you're in, you're paying taxes. No matter, take out the class, because that's another issue. That's a whole other issue. Like, you're getting nothing more or less than me besides the benefits of a skin color and people, quote unquote, treating you a little better than me. That's it, really. You don't get profiled, racially profiled. Obviously, I mean, that's a lot better. The violence that a lot of black and brown folks experience, you rarely get that, and some people are getting it now because they are standing up against the system and against law enforcement and all that stuff. So, but on a consistent basis, no. And the ones that are racist, no, they don't experience that at all. So this guy, I don't know what he's doing. Yikes. Anyway, it's just weird to me. Like, it really is. It's the weirdest thing, and it's weird to me because we are following traditions that were set. So, I mean, centuries ago. Did I cut my finger? Anyway, it was like this stuff was set so long ago, and it's like, are we willing to stay in a primitive state? Are they cleaning again? Come on, dog, dude, you just came by and cleaned. Anyway, I could have swore you came by and cleaned. Anywho, um, I know the cleaner guy just came by. That's why I drove off, y'all. Anyway, I guess he's doing double duty. Anywho, yeah, it's just weird to me that we still operate on systems that are so archaic and aren't really serving the masses. And I'm glad. I will say I'm glad that people slowly are waking up and realizing that this whole system that we are engulfed in is all a form of slavery, no matter who you are. And that's where it really just, that's why I need a lot of people just to realize, like, to really understand that they're lying to you, racist white person or racist whatever, or folks that are just falling into supremacy, thinking that if they have enough attachment to whiteness, they have that proximity, that they'll be saved. And it's like they're lying to all of y'all. All of y'all that have fallen under the spell. It's a lie, guys. It's a lie. Step away from it. Step away from it. Listen, we don't have to agree on every single thing in this world, but what we can agree on is that everyone deserves the right to live well, to not be homeless, to eat well, to be able to enjoy this life, and to not be under the throes of this slave-based system, because this is slavery. This is like as much as people want to pretend like it's not, this is slavery. We are slaves to the system. Many of us, if we stop working, something happens to us, we are in a really bad situation. It is fucked up. And that's the way the system has been set up. So you are constantly in the state of working, working, working. And then you're working so much, you're so exhausted, you can't fight against the system, and the system just keeps doing what it does. And that doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter what skin color you are. But the trick that they keep throwing out there is that the black and brown people, they're the ones they're ruining it for you. They're taking your jobs. They're doing this. They're doing that. They're going to be ahead of you, this, that, and the other. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Well, guys, I've exhausted myself on this one, but I'm going to spin the block one more time and see if I can find me some parking. If not, just roll up here and park for a bit and get myself together because I've got something to eat, like stat. All right, guys, we will make it. I know sometimes it feels like we're not, but we will make it. Um, Sending out my love to everyone, and just keep spreading the word, calling this shit out, shutting it down. And if you guys find some ways for us to, create a new system, I'm all ears. But yeah. All right, guys. Like I always say, let's just keep on keeping on. I love you, and I'll see y'all next week. All right. Bye.